At the dinner table, the evening started off with laughter and light-hearted conversations. My wife was glowing, dressed simply yet elegant enough to catch everyone's attention. We were sitting among her old friends, many of whom I had met before, but tonight there was someone I hadn't seen in years, a man she once told me had admired her long before we met. The moment he walked in, his eyes found her, and I noticed a certain spark in his smile. As the dinner went on, I kept observing him. His jokes were aimed at her, his stories crafted in a way to draw her into the spotlight. He leaned closer than necessary, asked her questions as if no one else was in the room. It was subtle but clear. He hadn't forgotten his old feelings, and tonight, he seemed to be testing the waters again. I tried to brush it off at first. After all, my wife was loyal, and I trusted her. But as his attempts grew bolder, I couldn't help but feel my patience tested. He reminded her of old college days, laughing about moments they had shared in the past, even bringing up a time when he had asked her out. The table chuckled, but I noticed how his eyes didn't leave hers, waiting for a reaction. My wife smiled politely but kept her hand resting on mine, a gesture so small yet so powerful. Still, I felt a knot in my stomach. Would she be swayed by his confidence, his charm, or by the memories he kept trying to resurface? I tried to remain calm, sipping my drink and watching the scene unfold. At one point, he leaned forward and said, "You know, I always thought you made the wrong choice back then. I would have treated you like a queen." The table fell silent for a moment. His words weren't just a joke anymore, they carried weight. My heart tightened, waiting for what she would say. My wife didn't flinch. She looked at him directly, then turned her gaze toward me. Her fingers tightened around mine, and she said with steady clarity, "No, I made the best choice of my life. He treats me better than anyone else ever could." Her voice was calm but firm, and it echoed in the quiet room. I felt an overwhelming rush of pride and relief. In that moment, I knew she wasn't swayed by nostalgia or tempted by old feelings. She had chosen me then, and she was choosing me again now. The admirer tried to mask his embarrassment with a weak laugh, but the sting of rejection was obvious. The rest of the dinner carried on, though the energy had shifted. The man spoke less, his earlier confidence replaced with awkward smiles. My wife remained by my side, never letting go of my hand, making it clear to everyone that her loyalty wasn't up for debate. As we left the dinner, I asked her softly if his words had bothered her. She smiled and shook her head. "He's living in the past. I'm living in the present, with you. That's all that matters." Her assurance was like a balm to every insecurity that had tried to rise inside me. On the way home, I kept replaying the moment in my head. The way she silenced him not with anger, but with certainty. The way she chose me without hesitation, even when tempted with memories of what could have been. That moment spoke louder than any romantic gesture. In the quiet of our car, I reached over and kissed her hand. She leaned her head on my shoulder, and I realized how lucky I was. Life would always bring challenges, old ghosts, and tests of love, but that night proved something deeper. True love doesn't waver when tempted, it stands stronger. The admirer may have tried again, but he walked away empty-handed. I, on the other hand, walked away with the priceless assurance that my wife's heart belonged only to me and always would.